And if you want to propel yourself forward, you always have to be around those like-minded people of where you want to go.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Megan and Steve with Hustling for Excellence. If you're new to our channel, be sure to like and subscribe and click the bell so you're notified when we post more content. So today we are back with our interview series, and we're here with Sara and Jeremiah Clark, who are agents in the travel industry. Hey guys, how are you today?
We're doing well.
Good morning. How are you doing?
We're great. We're actually here on vacation ourselves. In the beautiful Outer Banks. We're actually up in the 4x4 area where there's some wild horse preserves. So hopefully we'll see if you walk by maybe during this interview. we saw a few this morning, which was kind of awesome.
Yep.
So tell us guys, how did you get started in the travel industry?
I would say we got started about 5 months ago. We had one of our colleague from work that introduced us to the travel industry, the opportunity to be able to do this from home. And we kind of jumped on it because we like the opportunity to help others travel as well as we love to travel. So it just was a perfect fit.
That's awesome. Yeah, we obviously love to travel. It's great because, we can still be working while we're on vacation, enjoying beautiful scenery. So you said about 5 months now?
Yes.
And so for everyone watching, whenever you're seeing this video, it's actually 2021. So we're kind of on a year and a half into COVID.
Right.
So in the 5 months that you've been in the travel industry and some of the restrictions have started to lift, what changes have you seen with traveling?
Well, as you know, it's been very difficult with COVID, and we are kind of on the end of COVID now with all the traveling. We definitely have seen an influx in travel the past few months since we've gotten started. We definitely are busy, which is great, and people are itching to travel. But the changes that we've seen is we've noticed more European countries opening up to American travelers. We've also noticed how well the Caribbean has done with COVID and their restrictions, the testing protocols, and now that the vaccination has been kind of pushed out, lifting a little more within that. So they're allowing more travelers that have been vaccinated over in Europe and into Bora Bora and that kind of thing.
So we always have to make sure you stay on top of country requirements wherever you're going. So it's following the CDC guidelines. So that's always important, just to make sure when you're planning a trip that, you're meeting those requirements so you can not get stuck somewhere or not getting denied entry because you did not get a test or you're not vaccinated. So it's always key to stay on top of that.
Right. And there are still countries that are closed to travelers, such as Canada. They have not opened their borders yet. So we just have to keep up and stay up with what's the new. And
yeah, we've heard, we've got some friends in Canada who have actually come into the United States in the last couple of months, and they said it's definitely a challenge because when they head back, there's the government sanctioned hotels that they have to quarantine for 14 days and get tested every so many days. They're talking about they can't even leave their room. Like, meals are delivered and left outside their door. Same thing with laundry. Like, they literally cannot leave that room for 14 days.
Yes, it is crazy.
So how does that work as far as if you book some travel to, an airline, the hotel, are they flexible still? Or, say if you had COVID or you tested positive before you went, what are the requirements typically? Is it just a quarantine? Like, are they going to refund money? That's kind of what I was thinking, because I know some of those European trips can, you plan like this trip all year or so, and then all of a sudden you get sick. Can you get a refund, or do they just push? How does that work? What have you seen?
Right. So we typically always recommend our clients get travel protection, just for the simple fact that you never know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to test positive before you leave. A lot of the Caribbean resorts, if you test positive once you're there, they will actually allow you to stay on property for the 14
wow.
days quarantine without any further charges.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah.
We
So-
actually had friends who they were in Mexico for a wedding, and I guess they actually rented out the entire resort.
Wow.
And no one had COVID going there, but yet somehow someone got it, and almost everyone tested positive, and so they couldn't leave when it was time, for everyone to fly back.
Guess
Right,
that's not that way.
crazy.
Not a bad place to be.
No, right. You can recover there, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. Little extra vacation, sure. Okay, so travel insurance, okay. And is that typically, will that cover, I'm sure there's different kinds, but that covers the airlines and the hotel, or is it specific to each? How does that typically work?
So there's different types of insurance. There are insurance that's pre-departure and post-departure. Then
Oh,
there's
okay.
also travel insurance throughout your trip. And then we also have a supplier that we work with where you can insure your trip from before you even travel to when you get home. So everything would be included. Have it be if you need to switch flights, or if someone pops positive with COVID, or if you end up having a heart attack on your vacation, then you have to be, life flighted. All of that would be covered under the before you travel to the end. So the all encompass. So there are different levels of insurance that we use.
Okay, that's interesting, because I didn't even think about all the other things that can happen right now, where everybody's been so focused on the COVID factor. But and what you mentioned about, if you miss a flight or you have to change flights. I mean, I just flew recently, and it was crowded and slow, and we got delayed a few times, and I was just, I don't think the airlines are back to where they used to be right now. I mean, they're still hurting for employees, and
Right.
it was a very long, slow process testing your patience, right? So
Yes, they say if you need to travel, to make sure that you bring plenty of your own snacks, bring an empty water bottle so that way you can fill it yourself. Make sure that you travel with your prescription medication. Do not put that in your luggage and check it. So make sure that you have all of that with you. And if you are traveling with a dog, they actually kind of recommend you not, just because of the long wait times, the delays, all of that.
Another little tip too is if you're traveling with kids, before you go to like a Dollar General or some kind of dollar store and get a bunch of new toys. That way you try to keep them distracted during those long delays.
Right.
So
That's a great idea. I flew recently, and there was a lot of young kids on the flight. I mean, we have young kids, so flying with kids, and even beforehand, never bothered me, because for the most part, I think the adults are the more grumpy ones. The kids are just playing and having fun.
Right.
But I did see the one mom, she kept like pulling things out. I was like, wow, she's got a whole bag of tricks with her.
Yeah, it's like Mary Poppins bag.
yeah, no doubt. That's a great as well. Like, people forget, I think, sometimes, because you want to put everything underneath because it's easy. But, I always keep spare stuff with me, because, sometimes you get rerouted and then luggage doesn't show up for a few hours, or,
Yep.
So I always kind of pack a change of clothes, toothbrush, the whole thing. So yeah, that's a great point. So, well, that's interesting. That's, I'm hoping we get back, the travel just kind of opens up even more so, but because, like Meg said, we like to travel, and I know we've already talked to you guys about helping us with the European thing. So we kind of like, oh yeah, I guess we'll definitely have to do the travel insurance, because
which I hadn't considered until just now when you mentioned it.
You don't want to be stuck overseas or somewhere without the
right
insurance and then get a $80,000 bill.
Right.
You don't expect to have.
Yes.
That's not covered by your regular insurance.
Right. That's an absolutely great point. I mean, it is. I'd rather mitigate that risk for sure. So, so that's awesome. That's some great info.
Like they're healthy, but then something you never know could happen on vacation, and you just want to be prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of put your mind at ease a little bit, right? So
yeah,
that's a good point. Just allow you to enjoy your vacation, because pretty much you're covered. So
right.
I like that. So cool. Yeah.
So was there a particular reason that you guys chose the travel industry to get into, or just kind of happened to be the opportunity that came in front of you?
I would like to say it was the opportunity. I mean, we were looking for something. We just didn't know what we wanted to do. Getting ready to transition from the military, we wanted kind of an opportunity to kind of be stress-free in that transition, because that's a big transition, big life-changing moment. So it was just something that just kind of, I don't want to say fell on our laps, but it more or less did. Something that we knew that we could enjoy doing this together, helping other families plan their vacations, even plan our own vacations. Now that we have some of the insider knowledge, take advantage of that. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, talk about insider knowledge. For years, I was always under the impression that I never hired a travel agent, because I thought, well, that's just an extra additional expense for me. I don't think it was until a couple of years ago that I learned from a different travel agent. They're like, no, that all those fees are already included in everything that you're booking. So if you're doing it yourself, you're just, kind of wasting our own time.
Yeah.
We could have had someone else do it for us.
Yep.
exactly.
Right. And we always like to say it's kind of like real estate. So when you go and purchase a house, everything is built in. And that's
Yeah.
same with the travel industry as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good analogy. I like that, because that's how it is with real estate. You don't realize, oh, here's the cost of the house, and then you go to closing as well. It's like, oh wow, that's a little bit different. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's funny. Hey, and you mentioned something there about, oh, gosh, I know obviously you guys are a couple and you work together. We, as we are kind of wondering how you distribute the work. Sarah, do you do certain items, and Jeremiah, you do others? Kind of what's your daily operations as far as kind of what you guys do and how you operate? I mean, I always find it's kind of interesting dynamic when couples are in business together. So
I would say, I mean, Sarah's like the booking queen, the guru when it comes to booking. They always say you always try to find your own individual niche. Sarah does a lot of universal, international trips, and I'm trying to get my niche in to like sporting event trips, because one of the things I know from my bucket list is to visit all 32 NFL stadiums and baseball stadiums, and just all the sporting venues is kind of where I'm trying to build trips around that.
that's awesome.
So that's kind of where it is, and we do a lot of marketing, word of mouth advertising. So we're constantly posting. We got a Facebook page. We got our booking site that we go through. So
Cool.
it's just constantly trying to read and stay on top of what's going on in the industry, because there's always a deal for whatever you're looking for. You just have to stay on top of it.
Right. And a lot of people don't realize within our business is we are able to, purchase for our clients those tickets for sporting events, for the theater. If you want to go to concerts, all of that, we have access to all of that.
You just piqued my interest when you said theater,
I
because
know.
our daughter
Go
is
ahead.
dying actually to go to Broadway. She wants to see Hamilton, and she's seen Broadway shows, but for whatever reason, she is stuck on going to Hamilton. So we'll have to have an offline talk about that.
Yeah, that's actually interesting when you had said that, because obviously I'm thinking travel. I'm thinking kind of like more big travel, those vacations, but yeah, all the sporting events. That's interesting, because there's those little events kind of that you don't think about sometimes. But we go to so many a year, whether it's concerts or baseball games. So
Right.
yeah, I didn't realize you guys had access to that as well, because that industry's changed over the years. You got everybody kind of comes in and buys up blocks of tickets. So
Right.
I guess some of you guys have access to that. So that's good to know, because we do a lot of that. So yeah, I think that's really cool how you guys kind of said that, because Meg and I, we do this similar as far as kind of what her niche is within the business, and she's an expert in this area and I kind of do some other stuff. So I know, Sarah, I think if I saw recently, weren't you kind of like certified through a couple cruise lines and hotel resorts, and like how does that work? I saw some like postings that you're certified to book certain travel, and
Right.
I didn't realize the industry has all those certifications.
Yes. So we actually have access to any supplier that you can think of. We have access to. So within that, we can get specialized in certain, say Hilton or Marriott. I'm certified excellence for Marriott Hotel. and they are all around the globe. I'm also Hawaii specialist.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
One of our favorite places.
I am what's considered within our agency is a dream maker and vacation builder. So those are different levels of education within our business. I'm also Carnival. I'm a Carnival specialist, so the fun ship. What else?
Done so many.
I know.
That's a lot. I mean,
I was like, that's a lot.
I mean, that's interesting because, you know, kind of the cruise line is another one. That's people love cruises. I mean, when we were on our cruise, I mean, folks have been on 20, 30 of these cruises. Like, oh, every time we're on a cruise, we book another cruise. And I was like, wow.
What's funny is that before all this, Sarah was adamant, I am never going on a cruise, never. Now she's like, I can't wait to go.
Yes.
So it's just been amazing just to see the turnaround with her and her excitement for this industry. So we're looking forward to our first cruise here, hopefully in the next few months.
Yes. And I actually leave next week for a cruise conference down in Florida, where CLIA puts on a Cruise 360, so we can, you know, beef up our education on cruises. We can do ship inspections, see what the different excursions are that people like to do pre-departure and once they get off the ship. So yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, that's great. That's just, yeah, we were on the cruise and, you know, we would definitely want to do another one. We had the kids with us. So, I mean, that's a different experience in itself, right? So all different ages, but yeah, we want to do one for ourselves. So that'll be something else we'll have to talk about here.
So we'll add that to our list for you. Things to plan for us.
That's great. Like that's a lot. I mean, I forget what the travel industry is like enormous. Isn't it like $1 trillion industry or something? How big is it? Do you guys have that?
$10 trillion industry.
Oh my gosh.
And growing.
Wow. And you said it. Man, like we were just driving down here and people were just want to get out, you know, being cooped up for a year or plus. And I mean, it's crowded right now.
I cannot believe the
They say travel this summer is exceeding pre-COVID travel in 2019.
Yes.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
So you guys picked the perfect time to like jump in this industry, right? So it's like you got folks just have pent up energy and want to travel. So that's awesome. You guys are like, that's why you're killing it. So that's awesome. Go ahead. Did you? I wanted to talk to you a little bit because, you know, it is tough, right? Starting a business, it's new, it's different. So kind of want to talk to you about, you know, your mindset and what keeps you going. What's your why? Kind of, you know, it's different for everyone. I know you guys are a couple doing it together and the family. So I know that's probably part of it, but what else keeps you going?
I would say our boys. We want to build a legacy for our boys. So that way, if we were to pass before our time, they're set up for success. As well as I also have an autoimmune disease. So working outside the home is a little challenging for myself. So this gives me the opportunity to work really from anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, if we were on a beach like you guys right now, we'd be able to continue to work from the beach and, you know, work in our, what do I always say? I said work where we want to,
work in our permanent vacation.
There we go. That's what it is.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, that's perfect. I mean, what is it? You know, that location freedom is just as important as that time freedom for us as well. You know, it's sure you're kind of on vacation, but you can step away for a little bit and take an hour or two and do some work. And it doesn't even feel like work, right? I mean, it's like,
this is definitely not work, talking with friends.
Exactly. You enjoy doing it. So that's cool. I really love that. And, you know, you had mentioned being able to work from home. I think we're talking with some friends as well. And they had mentioned this year, people are calling it the Great Reflection.
Yeah.
You know, really understanding like, hey, maybe I don't need to commute an hour to work, or maybe I need to find something I would enjoy doing. And, you know, so I think you guys said travel, obviously you enjoy travel. So it makes perfect sense. So that's great. How about as far as like, you know, when you get into business, you really need to kind of work your mindset, you need to improve. And do you have some mentors and kind of what books are you reading? You know, we're always interested in seeing what people are doing for their, improving themselves. So.
Well, I know some of it is the industry certifications. Sarah's
Right.
Killing it with that, and I still have my day job that I'm doing. So, but as far as mentors within the industry, we have a few that introduced us to this opportunity. Alex and Brenda Tracy McCullough, they have helped us tremendously just to get started. And then we also have Aaron and Cindy Storroy, who's also within the travel industry, who's killing it in the industry and continue to help mentor us on a daily basis. It's important to stay connected with your mentors. That way, you see where they're at and you want to keep pushing to be where they're sitting, and then also help others. So that's kind of where we go with that. And then we also attend conferences. We have one next month that we're going to in Dallas within the company. And then there's weekend events like once a month that we try to go to if it's close to us. So we got that going on. And then
we just try to stay plugged in. We also, it's our business Bible, but it's GoPro. I don't know if you've read that book.
I have not. I gotta write that down.
I will definitely check that out. I love when people can, this is why we ask that question, right? I mean, share the knowledge and we can get some hints as well. No, definitely
cool.
Don't have that, but we will pick it up.
It's an awesome book.
That's great.
Yes. And we also just, we're strong in our faith. So we always pray through our business, ask for that kind of guidance and, knowing that this is the path that he's chosen for us. So that is that helps keep us mentally strong as well.
Faith in each other, just knowing that, everything we've been through to this point is there's been obstacles, but we've overcome those just because of the faith in each other. So
right.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, because we've known you guys for a while, and that military lifestyle is tough. People don't really understand that, right? So the challenges and the strength you have, those bonds they're so strong. So that's awesome. Wow, I love hearing those stories because that's like Meg and I talk about, the power of strong couples, right? The things we could do together and to serve others. So that's really kind of our goal as well. So that's awesome. And appreciate the GoPro tip. We will definitely be picking up that book.
Our Amazon list is growing.
I know.
Every time we interview another couple, we get multiple book recommendations that we've never heard of. And I'm like, wow, how have we never heard of some of these books? Because we've got a pretty extensive list, library. And,
I really, and what you said is kind of what we feel as well we love connecting with people. I mean, it's great that we can connect over Zoom and have interviews and talk and have meetings, but actually being in person, I feel like that's where the energy is. That's where the magic happens. So that's kind of what we do as well. We do try to attend, as many conferences as we can within our industry, and then also kind of, a little stepping out as well and doing some others just to, focus on mindset or the physical piece. And so that's awesome. I find that that's where the magic happens. I mean, right? Like,
absolutely.
We just make
and it always gives you it's renewed energy, really.
Yes.
You get around people. I think, we have found over the years that entrepreneurs, we just have a different mindset and a different way of looking at things and at life. And so when you can be around like-minded individuals, it really just fuels you even more.
Yes, it pushes you forward as opposed to pulling you down. So if you always reevaluate your circle that you're around, and they say your reflection is the 5 people you're always around. And if you want to propel yourself forward, you always have to be around those like-minded people of where you want to go.
Be coachable. Listen. So that's very important in any industry. So if you don't know what you're doing, find somebody that does and learn from them.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think what you just said, Jeremiah, about be coachable, that is probably one of the biggest things. And for any entrepreneurs, to be coachable and to learn from, like I said, Sarah, from those who are where you want to be.
Right.
'cause they'll help you get there.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. And don't be
yeah,
scared to
absolutely.
fail.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it. I think it's, I don't know, I've heard it said numerous ways, but like Tony Robbins as well, the power of proximity, right? Being around those people, and then the idea of the 5 people that you're around, you can kind of take a look, and that's the average there. So you want to make sure you're around people who are better than you. I always kind of like, since we got into this, into different industries, I'm like, man, I am like the dumbest person in the room everywhere I go, but that's good because I feel like these people are lots of room to grow, and they're like doing things that are making me uncomfortable and stretching me. Exactly. So I feel that's when you're really grow. So
right. And like you said, that's where the magic is, that's where the growth happens, when you get uncomfortable.
Yep. Yeah, so true. Wow, that's we are like, and right, I always feel like kind of like you have problems, right? We have obstacles, but you're not, I feel more creative, right? When I'm around these people that are, trying to solve the problem, not just getting angry about it or frustrated. Like, yeah, that's a natural reaction a lot of the times, but I just feel like, we always find a way now, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's,
that's cool.
That's
you find
awesome.
a way to overcome those obstacles and those barriers.
Yes.
So you won't feel defeated.
Yep.
Even though you might not be successful the first time, but you know where you want to be. So you're gonna keep learning something new, a different approach to make it work for what you want it to be. So.
And I like saying, fail forward.
Yes.
So don't be afraid to fail, because it's a learning experience. You're going to fail, but it's going to propel you forward.
Yes.
Right. And we have a mentor who loves to call it, there's really no failure as long as you've learned. It's just a learning experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's so true. Right. Because I know you have the young kids in school, and it's kind of like, we always talk about that whole piece of it, how it's like, they always want to talk about the mistake the kid made on the test, not the fact they got 9 out of 10 right. Let's pick on the one that got wrong. I'm like, hey, as long as they learn from that and they don't make that mistake again, it's okay. So, that's awesome though. But yeah, so, I'm looking at that one, and I'm excited to get that book because, like Meg said, we're obviously avid readers. But so kind of like, we're looking at now. We know you guys are going to be helping us book a few trips, and if someone wants to, work with you, as far as booking a trip, what's the easiest way to contact you? How do they get in touch? The website, Facebook. I know you guys are everywhere, and you're really branding yourselves, which is, very smart. So kind of, we've been asked, and I said, well, they're like, you have a travel agent? I'm like, yeah, we go through some friends of ours. So, we're obviously, we can recommend you, but for our folks and our followers on the channel, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, we are, as you mentioned and Jeremiah mentioned, we are on Facebook. We have a business page called Clark World Travel. We are also on Instagram at Clark World Travel.
Yes. That's brand new. We haven't really posted anything because we just started that one up. So.
Okay.
And then we also, clarkworldtravel@gmail.com. You can email us anytime. And then we also have our website.
Booking site.
Yes, which is also a booking engine as well. So if you have quick and easy trips like flights, I know Megan has used it before with flights, just a simple hotel, rental car. We also have a cruise engine. So that's clarkworldtravel.intellitravel.com.
Okay.
And we will post all those links in our description below. So all of you out there, you'll have access. Just scroll down below, click, and get right to their site and
start traveling. Start traveling, right? I think I read something somewhere. It's like, how did they say it? Traveling is supposed to be good for a lot of things. It de-stresses you. It's like it's good for your health. Come on, you have to travel, right? So doctor's orders. So yeah, that's funny. No, that's great. So, well, hey guys, as we kind of start to wind this down, I mean, what would you like to let our audience know? I mean, kind of those, we talked a little bit about what you're doing. I mean, what do you want to let them know as far as, hey, about traveling and, why they should come to Clark World Travel to book their next vacation?
I would say use us, put your trust in us. We like to try to think outside the box. We don't like to do cookie cutter vacations, what we call them. That's where you just book a hotel and you just show up and figure it out. We like we like to give you ideas that maybe you didn't think about. You want to go to Vegas, everybody thinks that, the Strip. Well, why not go out into the desert, ride some four-wheelers? So we got all kinds of different activities. Traveling Europe, instead of just flying around from place to place on a plane, why not think about a train to get you where you want to go? Well, one of those sleep trains. We just try to be outside the box, and we have fun with it. So we want your vacation to be fun. So just because we recommend something, you don't have to do that. You tell us exactly what you're looking for. We may suggest maybe a different activity you didn't think of. But yeah, put your trust in us, and we look forward to working with everybody.
That is awesome.
Well, as all of our viewers out there, we definitely put our trust in them. We basically said for our Euro trip, here's the one city I want to get to. Figure out the rest for me. I don't care where else to go or how we get there. This is just where I want to go.
That is awesome. I mean, because I love it. I love what you just said about going to Vegas, right? Everybody thinks the Strip, but I'm like, riding four-wheelers, or you can go drive a supercar or whatever, all the guy stuff, right? I'll say, but I'm just like, go shoot automatic weapons, whatever you want to do. I mean, that is truly outside the box and, tailored to that customer experience. So I love it.
Yes.
That is awesome.
And we cater to our customers. So if we put something together and they don't like a certain aspect of it, we can definitely take it out, add something else. Mm-hmm. It's very flexible. The benefit of having us as well is if anything, like if you need anything while you're on vacation, we are here for you. If you book another site, you don't have a contact that you can contact. Yeah.
And that's so true. I mean,
I hadn't considered that.
I was just thinking about that comfort feeling of knowing that I can reach out to you if I'm having a problem with something. I have somebody I know and I've talked to, because man, sometimes when you book through those other third-party sites, you're like, oh, I'm getting this great deal, but once you try to get help, good luck.
Right.
Because I've had that experience years ago. Mm-hmm. So that's another good point. That is, for me, I'm a people person as well. So I love, going through someone that can, we build a relationship and, kind of get to come back and tell you all about the fun travel we had as well. So
yes, definitely.
I've read some of your testimonials on the site, and I was like you said, you're right, and the good time. So I mean, that's so fulfilling and rewarding, I imagine. So
yes, and we love hearing about the trip.
Awesome.
Yeah, we love hearing when our clients come back and how excited they are and all of that. So, and we love being a part of the planning process, during the travel, and then the post. So we love being involved in it all.
Awesome.
That's great. All right, guys. Well, get ready to book your next vacation. Click that link below to Clark World Travel. They'll get you started and make sure you have a fantastic time. And if you're interested in finding out how you can live a life like this where you're on vacation and still getting work done, click our link and you'll see how we are doing it. So guys, remember to leave any comments or questions below. We'll make sure we get those answered for you. Continue to hustle for your excellence and have a wonderful vacation.
Like we are.